Say, alright, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. We say, Damlan, say, Apostle, Elot, a great Muslim, a ruler, our teachers, our apostle in the truth, and we see salutations, so they are coming to the push with in our truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or season, we see Shalom. Once again, going into our video here, and this basically touching upon some news. Now, before I head into the news, I'd like to bring forth the scripture, right? Let's go to the book of Surah, chapter 39, verse 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." And that's how you're supposed to be. You always want to be continually occupied in prophecies, continually watching, right? Continually taking heed to what it is happening all all around you, right? Because there's a lot, right? Countless of times when I'm doing videos, I just show things that that are saved to do a video on, right? Now, one of the things that are saved to do is this is NEPA, right? Let us see if I get this here, right? One minute.
We are say more names from science and medical terms. Stay tuned to the channel. Loads to learn here. Nipah virus.
Yeah, the Nipah virus, right? Nipah. So you say an outbreak of Nipah virus has been confirmed in West Bengal, India. Nipah has a fatality rate of 40 to 70% according to the CDC, and no cure or vaccine. Right, so it has a fatality. Sorry, not fertility, but a fatality rate of 40 to 70% according to the CDC, and no cure or vaccine. Right, so it's a very serious virus. Now, this was posted 2 days ago, and then 16 hours ago, just in Pakistan on alert over risk of deadly Nipah virus spread. Right, so you see, the virus is spreading. I believe it's not only Pakistan as well, but I believe some other countries, they themselves got like little outbreaks of the virus there. Let me read this here. Someone fact check the news, and it say very verdict true. Pakistan is indeed on a high alert for the deadly Nipah virus, ordering enhanced screening at borders after India confirmed 2 cases in West Bengal. It's a key evidence routers and report the government's advisory for strict surveillance at entry points. Now, this is something to pay attention to. The UC scripture say to be occupied in prophecies, because one of the prophecies, one of the major prophecies as well, is what the MOTB, right? And you're hearing this surveillance at entry points being come up in many different countries. America being the main one. They talking about giving about surveillance, about using Palantir to track your information, to to find out ways, and it goes down that path to the MOTB, right? And we're seeing that every single day. What they want to do is basically chip it and put that chip inside of it, put that mark inside of it, right? So you see other countries, it's surveillance at entry points. Even Europe. I wonder if I saved it here. Let me see if I saved it here. Yeah. So it's a UK Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood. 100 years ago, fingerprinting was described as curtailing our civil liberties, but today we could not imagine policing without it. I have no doubt the same will prove true of facial recognition technology in years to come. So you see what it is they're doing, right? Talking about the technology that they want to enforce, and goes and what she used an old example to talk about a new example that is going into what another example as well. And we know the path it leads down to, right? The path of the MOTB, right? So going back to this news here, with this virus. Because when you go to the scriptures now, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7, right? And matter of fact, let me read from verse 3. You see, and as he sat upon the mount, as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And there's a question mark. Tell us the signs of thy coming and the end of the world. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we hearing about that. That was it. That was start with the Surah to be occupied in prophecies, because some of the things are safe here. Watch. This one here is a U.S. Bulletin of Atomic Scientists moved the doomsday clock forward 4 seconds to 85 seconds to midnight. A time in their clock, in their timeage then, right? It's getting closer to doomsday, right? In the scriptures mentioned the perilous times win. So with the wars and rumors of wars that you're hearing, it also said, well, verse 7, and say, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So with the nation rising against nation, we just saw Trump talk about Iran today, right? We saw China and Iran. They were actually they were trading with Russia. Is this it here? An Airbus A321-231 operated by Mirage Airlines using the call sign Iran 07, typically reserved for senior Iranian government officials, departed Tehran within the past hour en route to Moscow, Russia. So that was going into Russia, China, and Iran. They were all doing their stuff, right? You see, U.S. has numerous bases within range of Iranian missiles, Iranian army seas. So again, it's just to give a little few insights about how much things is happening in the world right now with those kingdom against kingdom, nation against kingdom, nation against nation, right? Let's say, and there shall be famines. No, what you could do is you just have to go and look up, example, the food shortages that have worldwide. Also look up the economy, the crash, right, that is eventually going to happen, right? It's and pestilences. Now when you look at the word pestilence, right, it says pestilence. A pestilent fellow, it's a pest, a plague. It's a affinity, a plague, literally the disease, or figuratively a pest, right? So when they do a Google search and I look up the word pestilence, it's a pestilence is a fatal, rapidly spreading infectious disease or plague that causes massive casualties within a community. So when you're reading the news, it says what is a 40 to 70% chance of fatality, right? And when you read the scriptures, it say what? And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And that is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing so much of pestilence. This is just one, right? This is just one that they're hearing about in the news right now. There are so much that sometimes they can't even, keep up with the amount of pestilences that they're hearing about. And that way it say, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences. It didn't say pestilence alone, it said pestilences, so it will be what? Many, right? And the time that we're in, we've seen so much of things happening. What, as I say, this is just things that save, right, to do videos on. Sorry about that, but to do videos on. And some one of it here is going into the farming of the word, which is something that this is a video that I have to do, right? I was just saving information, and day by day, there's a lot of information coming out about it. The kind of restrictions, the kind of stuff they're doing with certain social media platforms, right? I.e. TikTok, right, being one of the major one that doesn't talk right now, right? Going down, we've seen things like the Civil War, we've seen the false prophets, right? We've seen it say Bill Gates has given a 5-year deadline before we enter a new dark age. So things are not nice. The scriptures talk about it, say the evil shall increase, and that is what we're seeing. Right, the end is being made manifest, and it's seen in the word through the signs, through the prophecy, through the prophecies. It is being played out right before our eyes. Right, there's so much of things like that. Watch this. This was again, when you watch a timeline, this was 2 days ago. An outbreak of the Nipah virus has been confirmed, and this one here was only 16 hours ago. Right, so within the span of what? Of a day, basically. Right, so it's verse 8, it say all these are the beginning of sorrow. So this is just the beginning. So it's going to get worse and worse. Right, it's going to get worse, and day by day you might hear a different virus pop up soon that would be spreading worse than the Nipah virus. Again, this is just signs. Again, the end is being made manifest. Right, the same BG, the Gates, he mentioned that there's something worse on the horizon, worse than the pandemic that we just went through, right? So again, be occupied in prophecies and continuing to watch. There's so much happening right now. I could just click this news page and you would see all these things. Right, as I'm doing this video here, a brother just shared a little information. He said BRICS laying first tracks for new global payment system. BRICS laying first tracks for new global, goes into what? To the MOTB, that cashless society, which eventually will lead on a part of what the MOTB, which majority of these countries worldwide are already going cashless. You already hear them talking about, the chipping and putting something inside of it so it'll be easier to access your money and all these sorts of things. The scripture says to never trust thy enemy. So you see in the trickery that the enemy coming with. Right? Sorry again. But it's our next article I wanted to find. But I'm not seeing it here at this particular moment. But again, as the scripture say, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Right? So with that, once again, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yoshai, Ba'ashem, Rakadash. We say, Damnans Apostle, Elas, a great Muslim, and rule well, our teachers, our apostles, and should. And we see salutations, so the Akim, so the push with no truth and sincerity. Day in and day out, and constantly in season, the season, we say, Shalom.